Do you want to increase brand awareness, attract new patients immediately and consistently, and become the go-to practice in your community? Then learn how to do ground marketing. That's what I'm going to be teaching you in this series. Let's dive in. The only 3 things you need to start ground marketing in 2026. Okay, just 3 things. And let me start with this. What I'm about to give you is not tips. It's not ideas. It's not maybe this will work for you. No, what I'm giving you are the 3 irreversible levers that create new patients fast in any city, in any demographic, in any economic climate. And especially in this completely attention-cluttered world we're moving into in 2026. You're going to think, oh, this is gold. Nobody has ever explained it like this. So simple. So let's dive in and let's get into these 3 things. Number 1, choose the right spaces, not the right strategy. The first lever determines everything. You get this wrong, nothing else matters. You get this right, you cannot fail. Most practices start ground marketing by asking the wrong questions. Where can we go? Which business will say yes? Where is there high traffic? That's wrong, wrong, and wrong. Ground marketing only works when you go into spaces that already contain the psychology, trust patterns, and buying behavior of your ideal patients. This is why most practices spend years doing random events with 0 return. You don't choose places. You choose ecosystems. Here's the rule that I want you to apply. Pick 3 places where your next 200 patients are already gathered without you, and not high traffic spots, not places near your office, not anyone willing to let you drop off brochures. No, a lot of that stuff feels good, but it doesn't pay the bills. Instead, choose ecosystems with built-in patient intent, places where people already act like your best future patients. And there are only 3 ecosystems that consistently produce new patients within weeks. Now I'll break this down for you, okay? Number 1, trust ecosystems, where trust already exists and you simply just step into it. This is the single most powerful category in ground marketing, because here's the truth. In these places, trust is preloaded. You don't earn it, you inherit it. So think of seniors trusting their activity director, parents trusting the daycare director, employees trusting their HR manager, gym members trusting their coach or trainer, residents trusting their property manager, club members trusting their president or event host. These leaders have influence. They've earned it with consistency, community, and emotional connection. And here's the psychological secret that changes everything. When a trusted leader introduces you, their credibility transfers instantly. This is not persuasion. This is borrowed trust. And borrowed trust converts 10 times faster than earned trust. So why trust ecosystems are guaranteed to work? Their endorsement removes skepticism. Their members act faster because the message is familiar. You're seen as handpicked and not marketing. And you bypass the hardest part of patient acquisition, building trust from 0. So how to find trust ecosystems? Well, you need to ask yourself, who already influences the patients I want? Find that person. Enter their world, serve their people, and win instantly. Number 2, identity ecosystems. So where people already see themselves as someone who invests in health, beauty, and quality. So these aren't rich people. They aren't just fit people. These are individuals whose identity is tied to self-improvement, appearance, or lifestyle. And people who invest in their identity always invest in their smile. So you want to think of exclusive gyms, yoga, Pilates, barre studios, high-end apartment communities, mom groups, retiree clubs, wine clubs, med spas, and executive networking groups. And the psychology here is they're not asking, is the dentist the cheapest? They're asking, does this match who I believe myself to be? Now, why identity ecosystems work? People in these spaces already invest in themselves. They filter out low intent, low value patients. You're not convincing them. you're validating them. They have strong referral networks. Your offer becomes a status boost as well. Say something like, our members get exclusive access to top dental care. And that's why they work. Here's how you can identify these ecosystems, which is identity ecosystem. You want to ask this question for this ecosystem. Where do people who care about health, beauty, and lifestyle already gather? Then position yourself as the natural upgrade to their current identity. And finally, number 3, access ecosystems. When you're not just allowed in, you're allowed to communicate repeatedly. Ground marketing dies when you rely only on physical presence. You need communication access. That's why these ecosystems are gold. Okay. You're able to have the HR email lists, resident newsletters, gym member text blasts, apartment community apps, HOA groups, studio member email sequences, senior center bulletin board. You're able to be on the community Facebook groups, school parent WhatsApp groups, employee Slack channels. See, you're no longer a visitor. You're becoming a recurring voice in their inbox, their calendar, on their community thread. And why access ecosystem works? Well, repetition beats persuasion. Communication channels amplify your message to 50 to 500 people instantly. Follow-up becomes effortless because the ecosystem delivers it. Being familiar builds fast, which collapses friction. And new members, residents, and employees arrive every month, and that's automatic new patient flow. So how to find access ecosystems? Well, you want to ask yourself, which organizations around me already have a communication pipeline that reaches my ideal patients? If they have a channel, you have a predictable pipeline. Now, these 3 ecosystems, keep in mind, but why? Why these 3 ecosystems work faster than any marketing strategy in 2026? Well, because ground marketing is not so much marketing, it is distribution hacking. You are not building an audience. You're inserting yourself into one that already exists. You are not starting from zero. You're walking into a relationship already warmed up, and you are not convincing strangers. You're activating people who already behave like ideal patients. That's why results come in weeks, not in months. That's why a ton of our members in the ground marketing course are seeing results in weeks. So keep this in mind. Number 1, the first thing you need to do is choose the right spaces. And the way you can choose the right spaces is by niching down to those 3 ecosystems, okay? And the 3 ecosystems were the trust ecosystems. That means where trust already exists and you just step into it. The identity ecosystem, where people already see themselves as someone who invests in health, beauty, and quality. And access ecosystems, where you're not just allowed in, but you're allowed to communicate repeatedly. Now, once you have that down, it's number 2, show up with a non-marketing offer. Now, once you've chosen the right ecosystem, here is where 99% of practices blow it. They walk into a business and immediately sound like every other dentist in every other city. Hey, can I put my flyers out? Hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. We're new in the neighborhood. You need a dentist? We're here. Can I sponsor your table? Can I leave brochures? Can I display my poster or my cards or my whatever? That is the fastest path to no thank you. Why? Because it's taking. Ground marketing works because you never ask to take. You show up to give. And what you give can never be a discount, a coupon, or an offer. Those scream, we want your customers. Instead, you use a non-marketing offer, something that helps them and promotes them. You flip the entire dynamic by saying something like, our patients are always asking us for good, boom, whatever their service is, whatever their procedures are, whatever their product is, our patients are always asking for the best daycares, the best realtors, the best gyms. So I wanted to give your information on hand to recommend you. Or you can say something like, hey, this month we're putting something special together for our patients, and I love to include you in it. I've heard incredible things about what you guys are doing here, and I'd love to just have your information in our thing that we're putting together. That's it. Now, many more scripts, specific, refined scripts to get into restaurants, daycares, schools, corporations, pediatric locations, urgent cares, hospitals, coffee shops, any business you can think of. Specific scripts that are guaranteed to work are found in the ground marketing course. They will get your foot in the door and you will start making a partnership pretty much instantly. If you're thinking of banks, and I want to get into Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all these other locations, we got that too. We have the specific strategies. So make sure if you're not a member of the ground marketing course, go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below, and that can be the best thing you do right when 2026 starts, ground marketing. And it'll tell you right then and there the first places you need to go to, how to get into there, and then how to capitalize, and you'll start seeing results within weeks. So go in the show notes below, and you can click on the first link in the show notes below, and I'd love to see you as a member in the ground marketing course. Now, when you utilize these scripts, right, you're flipping the entire dynamic. They immediately feel chosen, appreciated, promoted, elevated, and important because you are giving them exposure. And that's why this strategy works every single time. And you do it using 5 categories of offers, each one designed to benefit the business more than it benefits you. And when they do this, they give you the information. Now you have the door wide open for you to ask anything. You can ask, hey, can I leave a sign-up sheet here for the employees to sign up? I can come by next week to pick it up. Perfect. You'll see people sign up on the spot. Hey, do you have any events happening? Yeah, we do. We have events happening all the time. We actually have one this upcoming week. Can we participate? Of course. We'd love to have you in there. Boom, you're in events. Or you can just do so many more things with them once you get your foot in the door. So make sure you're utilizing those scripts and keeping these principles in mind. Number 2, remember, is show up with a non-marketing offer. And you can utilize the scripts I just provided you. Or, like I say, go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below, and enroll into the ground marketing course. You'll have a plethora of scripts that you can utilize specifically for a specific business. And if you're even thinking about Chick-fil-A, boom, it's in there. So make sure you do that. And finally, number 3, capture contacts, not conversations. This is the moment ground marketing becomes a patient-producing engine or a feel-good waste of time. Most practices do ground marketing like this. Hey, let's hand out goodies. Let's smile at people. Let's hope they come in. I mean, they took our information, right? But hope is not a strategy. Hope has never produced predictable growth. Hope is the reason most offices stop ground marketing altogether. Here's the truth. If you leave an event without contact information, you didn't meet anyone. The conversation was cute. The booth looked nice. The person smiled. They took some things. But in terms of actual ROI, nothing happened. Ground marketing only works because of one iron law. If you don't capture the contact never existed. This is the line you need to carve in stone. This single rule separates practices that get 25 to 45 new patients a month from practices that get, we had a good time, but not many people book. Because here's the truth. You're not trying to make friends. You're building a pipeline. And pipelines require data. There are only 3 numbers that matter. Okay. Think of it as the patient production triad. And so here are the 3 numbers that matter. Number 1, contacts captured. That means name, phone or email, and permission. Not how many people we talked to, not how many bags we gave out, not how many people stopped by the table. This is not a carnival. It's a lead engine. A contact gives you one thing you must have, a doorway back into their life. So you need to capture their name, their phone number, and permission. 2, booked within 48 hours. This is not a suggestion anymore. It's science, neuroscience. When you meet someone at an event, the brain creates a micro moment of trust, a burst of curiosity, a warm impression, and a sense of social obligation. All of that has a half-life, 48 hours. After that, memory fades, trust evaporates, urgency disappears, procrastination wins. But when you follow up within 48 hours, they think, oh man, they remembered me. They're organized. They actually care. This might just be my new dentist. The energy of the interaction must be transferred into an appointment, and that can only happen in the 48-hour window. And then number 3, new patients scheduled within 7 to 10 days, or sooner than that. If the appointment is 3 to 5 weeks out, spark will die Life gets busy, comparison shopping begins, cancellations increase, no shows increase. But if you schedule within 10 or less days, or even 7 to less days, the relationship is warm. Decisions are easy. The conversion skyrockets. Practices that schedule within 10 days convert 60 to 80% more than practices that push appointments out weeks. Ground marketing is hot lead dentistry. Speed is not optional. Speed is part of the strategy. If you treat ground marketing like a conversation, you'll feel good, but stay stagnant. If you treat it like a contact capture engine, then you will fill your schedule. So this is the entire system distilled into one sequence: contacts, follow-up, booking, appointment, patient, lifetime value. If you miss the first step, you lose all 6. Hit all 3 numbers, you grow fast, predictable, and consistently. So this is the blueprint. These are the 3 things for 2026. Number 1, let's recap. Pick 3 ecosystems: 1 where trust exists, 1 where identity exists, and 1 where access exists. 2, approach them with a non-marketing offer, something that helps them and not something promoting you. And 3, capture contacts. Follow up in 48 hours. Schedule within 7 days. If you execute these 3 moves, you won't need to hope for new patients in 2026. You will manufacture them. And all of this is found in the ground marketing course. All the scripts, even this episode with all the copy behind it and the scripts and the strategies and the step-by-step process, that will be found in the ground marketing course, along with all of the ground marketing series episodes and everything I mentioned in there, and so much more. So actually, if you want, go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below, and you can actually see everything that's in the ground marketing course. And I'd love to see you enroll and become a member. You can talk to me more one-on-one in the ground marketing course as well. So I'm excited to see you in there. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode, and I can't wait to talk to you in the next episode.